Hey guys, Dr. Sean here. We're gonna go back into our mailbag here today. We gotta ask the question. I said, Doc, I've noticed that there's a increase in the rotavirus. It looks like it's on the rise. What do you think? Is that happening? Is that really what's going on? Are we seeing an increase in a virus we kind of thought we had the handle on because we've been vaccinating for it now for a while? What's going on? Well, let's look at it first. What is a rotavirus, right? There's a norovirus as well. The key to these things is that they affect the intestines. They affect the stomach, the GI tract, mainly in little kids. You see it all the time. You're looking basically 3 months all the way up to 35 months, 3 years, That's where you tend to see it at. Small little kids. And it's because they're always doing this. They're gumming and mouthing everything. And it's much, much more common when the kids are in communicable groups. They're with, play groups, they're at daycare, they're at things where there's a lot of chance for contamination to occur. Now, here's how it works. A virus is hardy and it can hang around a while. So when you're touching mouth and touching things, if you touch stool, especially when you're little kids, or urine or things like that, you can pass things around very easily by touching doorknobs and handles and toys and cups and you name it. It's very, very easy to spread something like this. Now, when it gets in there, it's enteritis. It upsets the belly. It upsets the stomach and the GI tract, and it can loosen the stool. It's very, very common to see that stool take off. So you look at that and you start thinking, okay, so now you're looking at diarrhea. And in a small child, a lot of diarrhea can lead to dehydration. It can lead to electrolyte imbalance. It can lead to all kinds of things. Well, that can be fatigue and nausea and ache and sore like a flu almost, right? It's a viral problem. Well, they got the bright idea several years ago, hey, let's vaccinate for this thing. But here's the problem. The question we were just asked, Doc, is the rotavirus on the rise? It is. Now let's look at this. It's not one virus because viruses are like families or clans, right? There's many varieties in the clan. There's many varieties in the family. There are two classifications of the rotavirus. There's a G type and a P type. The G type, there's 16 different varieties. When you get into the P type, there's 28. So it's not one rotavirus, there's almost 40, right? Now here's the problem. Since we started vaccinating, this comes straight out of the CDC's website. Since we started doing this and they're tracking this, they started noticing, wow, that virus is mutating. So when we're injecting a vaccine into kids and things to avoid this, the virus is mutating and it's shifting, creating a new type. Guess what? The new type, the vaccine doesn't get. It can't touch it. So the virus said, hey, if you're going to go after me this way, I'm going to learn from my mistakes and find a way around it. Now, where have we seen this elsewise? Let's look at staph. Staph infections, right? Tons of antibiotics, throwing it at it. So a simple staph infection that we once saw that we could treat, now we have MRSA, methicillin-resistant staph infection. It's so resistant that most antibiotics won't touch it. Now these things become life-threatening. So when we're looking at the rotavirus and why is it on the rise, this is it. Now this comes directly from the CDC. They're basically telling us, hey, don't worry. It's okay. We know this is happening. And we know it's happening and we got to plan for it. But it's happening because we created it. Oops. Guys, this is what this is all about, right? This is why I call myself the Robin Hood of the healthcare world, right? Someone has to let you know these things. So what do? Right? You got to respect it. It's a virus. But how do viruses get started? In weakened, run-down, tired immune systems. So keep the diet clean, especially in children. Digest their food. I do this day in, day out, and I've been doing it for 2 decades. Help the children break their diet down. Now, the problem is processed refined food, sugars, things like that weaken the immune system. So all the little cereal treats and all the gummy things that we're giving kids all the time, although they're tasty and convenient, man, they lower that immune function. And now a virus has said, oh, there's my window, and here it comes. You got to change that. I'm a big fan of stabilize that body. I adjust little kids. I love adjusting children in my practice. Dr. Brown just joined me. We're going to make this a big focal point of what we're doing here in the future, because if you can educate children on what good health is, man, it makes great adults, doesn't it? and they get healthy and they have great healthy kids themselves. So this is kind of what we're looking at here. We are seeing this on the rise. It's rising for a purpose. In this case, it was our effort to avoid it that's actually creating it. And it's creating a version the body hasn't seen yet. It's a mutation. So a strong, healthy immune system, decrease the stress, clean that diet up, and digest it, digest it, digest it. I use an enzyme in my practice. If you guys are interested, give us a buzz. All right, I'm Dr. Shaw, the Robin Hood Healthcare. Take care.